bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Mean I'm a bite, not lacing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and I'm way up and made it. The is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Space to maneuver at the 40. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 74 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. The first play from scrimmage. Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate. And guess what? They're in the lead now.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. The second-year man, Smith-Schuster, coming off a terrific season. 111 catches, over 1,400 yards, and 7 scores as well.
And he could very well slide into the #1 receiver role, depending on how events transpire in this offseason. But even if that doesn't happen, he has universal respect within his own locker room. Was named this year's team MVP for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Tried to get it on the edge there, but there was no seal, nowhere to go, had to step out.
Yeah, sometimes the defense just wins those battles because ordinarily the guy setting the edge, offensive tackle, tight end, H-back, someone of that caliber, wasn't there on that play. Defense wins it in a big way, no gain at all for the offense. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now a play fake here on first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Numbers-wise, another great season for Brown. Over 100 catches, nearly 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. But, yes, there was some late-season drama, was there not?
There was, and that has the Steelers, it sounds like, listening to trade offers in the offseason. Front office saying they're not going to release him, but, quote, all options are on the table, which is not something you normally hear with your number one receiver. And those kind of numbers, remember, they're amassed despite double and triple coverage on just about every snap.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On second down, Dobbs dancing to his left, and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Joshua Dobbs, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now, Charles, as the Cowboys take over here, what do you think of the season that Dallas had? Yes, they get in the playoffs, but that's now 6 straight divisional round games that they've lost.
And that doesn't make you feel great as an organization. But think about this season. They started 3-5. Ended up winning their division. Questions about their head coach Jason Garrett's future. They finished 7-1 to claim that 3rd NFC East title in 5 years. And then they added a playoff win over Seattle as well. So I think the future looks good for Dallas. I also like what they're building in terms of Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott on offense. But how about on defense? They got 2 of the better young linebackers in the league, and Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. Build around them and watch for the Cowboys to be in the mix in years to come.
A very solid gain of 27. Change of scenery turned out to be really good this year for Cooper and the Cowboys. 9 games with them, over 700 yards, including that 217-yard 3-score performance against the Eagles.
And remember, that last score was in overtime to give Dallas a huge win in the NFC East and help propel them to a division title. 1,005 yards combined between Oakland and Dallas. The 3rd time he's gone over 1,000 in his 4 seasons in the NFL.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here we go, 47. Right there.
2nd down, Prescott. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
This is Smith. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through.
3 yards on the play.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. On the counter, here's Bell. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Forced out to his left. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, 2nd major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pavin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, IB Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about, and now Prescott is going to be taken down. He couldn't get away, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Got a second here to assess Pittsburgh's last season as their offense comes onto the field. You know, for most of the folks that are fans of the Steelers, they're probably saying, wow, this was tough. But, hey, they were 9-6-1. The thing is, expectations there are playoffs every year.
You're right. And to show that, they haven't been under 500 since 2003. It's a very consistent franchise. But remember how...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 40. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Check 26.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. On the counter, Elliott. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Roethlisberger will throw. And he finds McDonald. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. That's Bell. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger goes underneath for Bell. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
There's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught at the 8. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27. They'll try and run it in with Bell. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's back to throw. Buying time to his left. And his pass incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Back to throw. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Cowboys have recovered.
It's funny to me because we actually keep a football in the booth with us during games. And I notice you cradling the football. You got it tucked pretty tight with the points of pressure here. And that didn't occur on that play, did it?
Now, you saying I wouldn't have fumbled if I was
You
down
would
there?
not have fumbled. You got that thing locked in tight.
I also have really large biceps. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2. So any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
What a nice physical tackle by the safety there. And this guy's playing strong safety, which is really a hybrid position. You got to be able to cover back deep, but also you almost have the linebacker up near the line of scrimmage. They count on him to make big hits in the...
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Now Elliott. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bell. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Roethlisberger to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, That doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.